All right, we're going to call this city council meeting to order, Monday, July 7th, 2025, 5:02 p.m. With a roll call, please. Well, silence your phones or turn them down or whatever, and get some roll call, please.
Commissioner Edelman?
Here.
Commissioner Everington?
Here.
Commissioner Morse? Commissioner Prentice?
Here.
Mayor Fitzgerald?
Here, stand and we'll, Don, or let's say pledge allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing, please. Don?
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day, and Lord, we just seek your presence, and I ask that you guide the council tonight and all the decisions that they need to make. And we also lift up all the people in Texas, Lord, that particularly those who have lost loved ones in this flood, and we just ask that you will be with all the workers who are looking for survivors as well as those who have passed away. So we just ask for your presence there, Lord. Comfort all those people who have lost loved ones, and just guide the people that are doing work there to try and find other people and to bring restoration to all the devastation that has happened. So we just thank you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you, Don. Okay, let's go approval agenda. Get a motion, please.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No changes on the agenda tonight. That's a surprise, isn't it? Okay, public comment. I know some of you are here for one specific reason. And if you want to, I don't usually do this, but I think I'm going to ask, unless it's just in general, wait till if you got a discussion item on the agenda, wait for that, and then you can talk. Because otherwise, we let you talk, and then we don't let you talk at the meeting. But anybody else can stand up, say whatever you want. All right, Mr. Lloyd.
My name's Josh Beloit. Just coming to see if I can get an update on what's going on with the fire department. Obviously, all I have is rooms right now, but I'm hearing the staffing is going to be an issue coming forward for town of Beloit and Beloit, that they might be losing some firefighters. Also, one of the things that we requested a long time ago was the inventory list that was supposed to be done on the sale, and some items came up that people think should be there that aren't, so I'm just going to mention them, and if we can lay it to rest, then I'd like to. There was 10 SCBA cylinders, new Ancus, extrication tools, Rescue 42 struts, first responder jack, air chisels, SCBA mask, large several drawer Craftsman toolbox full of tools, and some new yellow portable radios. I know Kenny's not here, but those things aren't on what we requested for the inventory list, so we just want to find out.
All right, well, we heard you, and we'll get to that if we can. I don't know where they are either, but we can look into it.
Just for information, that inventory list is based off of what was given to me when we took over. So,
What happened between transition?
I know we have toolboxes in there. I know we have lots of cylinders. We know we have old extrication equipment. Does it match up to that list exactly yet? I don't know. We just have it all stored right now. There is no sale list or anything like that at this point in time. So
We did do one surplus sale, Mayor, and I can pull those records. When Jason Griffin was our chief, we did, I think he got a grant for the extrication equipment. I think we gave away or auctioned off the remaining. So let me do a little bit of homework, Josh, and I'll get back to you as best I can.
All right, appreciate that. Anybody else? Okay, moving on. Approval of minutes for the regular council meeting held on June 16th, 2025. Motion, please.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, report of officers, approval of claims to be paid from June 14th to July 3rd, 2025 for the amount of
$494,954.65.
Get a motion. Get a second.
Second.
Tracy, please.
Commissioner Edelman?
Yes.
Commissioner Everington?
Yes.
Commissioner Morse? Commissioner Prentice?
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald?
Yes, attorney's report.
No report this evening.
Wow, well, now we're really moving on. Okay, reports. Sonia, you want to,
Sure, Mayor. I have just a couple things. One, I just want to remind everyone of the sewer public input meeting that we plan to have based on our sewer rate study and the likelihood of sewer rate increases. So we have that penciled in for 6 o'clock on Monday, July 21st. So at our next meeting, we'll hold it to an hour, and we'll make sure that come 6 o'clock, we have a public input meeting where there can be a little bit more free discussion back and forth about the sewer rate study and the likelihood of increases. So that's the first item, and then...
Is that here?
Yep, that's right here. The second item I wanted to mention on that same tone is, for the last 18 months, we've been going through Tyler Technologies transition. It's impacting the way that the city does everything that we do. And one thing that I thought was kind of a win was we have 3,137 sewer accounts, and now 1,003 of them are signed up for an online account, which is a huge step. So 1/3 of our accounts have now registered online. So this is going to help with paper billing. This is going to help with the way that people make their payments. I think having 1/3 of our residents already involved in this program just shows that they were looking for better ways to pay their bill. So that's a great number. Sherland Avenue cleanup, I just wanted to mention that we've had some meetings on the environmental process over there. That grant is moving along. We have a cleanup grant for Sherland Avenue. And it looks like we're going to change methods, so if anybody has questions about that, feel free to let me know. Originally, we were hoping to mix soils to a certain point of, reaching a bar of safe soils, and we just can't get there mixing it. So to ensure that we don't go over our grant amount, we are going to stop mixing and just remove some soils. So it's not quite the way we would normally like to do it. We prefer to mix soils so that dirt's not going to the landfill, but we just can't get there. And it may take multiple efforts, so we don't want to exceed our grant.
Have we heard anything about the 1 acre lot that is being upheld by the railroad?
Yeah.
Slowing down the $90 million development project?
Yeah, we continue to try to work through potential options with the UP, but we don't have a great answer yet. There is a newer program that is more of a lease the land instead of own the land. I don't know that we can clean up property that we're leasing, so that's a difficult hurdle. I did send to somebody on our legal staff, Aaron Zito, is reviewing the lease agreement that the UP provides. And we're going to see if maybe that's an option, but worst case scenario, the development may have to try to build outside of that 1.3 acres. The city owns about 1/3 of an acre that is east of the right-of-way, and then the right-of-way is just under an acre. So it's about 1 1/3 acres total that they're going to have to develop around if we can't get to terms of the UP. So really frustrating. The amount of money that we have offered for that right-of-way has now gone up to $75,000. It's kind of shameful that this board is willing to spend that, and we still can't get there. I think that's
What was their
really
original
fair.
ask again, just for?
We offered them 5 once upon a time. We offered them 10 once upon a time. They said, how about 70? And now it's 75. Just keeps going up. But apparently the railroads don't like to sell dirt. So that's where we're at. We're navigating that as best
tell
we
them to
can.
keep it?
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. It's been more than fair. So that's there. And then the last item that I won't get into long details, but I just wanted to tell the board that, we had 1.7 million penciled in for capital this year, and we are trudging right along on a lot of those capital items. Some of those capital lines were for multiple different projects. For example, we had one for facility improvements, and then we had one for infrastructure improvements. Both of those had at least 4 or 5 different moving parts under them, and a lot of those projects are advancing. So we're in a really good place. I think we're meeting a lot of hopeful timelines, and things are busy, that's for sure. But that's all I've got for you. Thank you.
Okay.
And then fire quarterly report.
Ready?
Yep.
Ready. Fire quarterly report, July 25. I think it put a copy for all you to read up on your podium. Special events. We were in the Memorial Day Parade with Engine 2030. It was a successful parade.
Very well.
Prescription medication collection drive-through with the fire department seemed to be very successful. Reports of lots of traffic and lots of medication turn-in, resulting in many boxes of medications. So that's a good thing. Personnel. This quarter, we've seen 3 new hires at the fire department. are currently in training in the field with preceptors to be released as they demonstrate proficiency, which 2 of them have already been released. We're going to start a new recruiting program utilizing a more online digital comprehensive approach with hopes of reaching more applicants starting here in the very, very near future. And the town has also hired a part-time fire inspector. Obviously doesn't directly relate to you guys, but it does relate to staffing and the ability to get people moving around a little bit more and ready for emergencies rather than fire inspections. Training. Alter Recycling has offered up 3 homes along Park Avenue for the fire department to utilize for training. I've met with Isaac from Alter, and we're working on making that a reality. Training outline has been submitted to Alter for review and approval at their corporate level, and we're looking to utilize the structures for non-live burn training with the city of South Beloit, and town of Beloit this summer and this fall. Live fire training at Black Hawk Tech in their burn tower took place over the last 3 months. Forcible entry training on the door simulator, and the MPO aerial class had come to a completion last month with many gaining their certifications in one or the other or both. Facilities. The lower level of the fire station is having some hot water issues and is in need of upgrade, so we're looking into options. I've spoken with DPW, and they're going to come take a look and see if it's something they might be able to help us out with. Foley Electric is going to come and bid for station alerting upgrades. We need better speaker coverage throughout the station. This is to enhance the live broadcasting capabilities of dispatching to all rooms and spaces throughout the fire station. Vehicles and equipment updates. Ambulances are being rotated into the shop for their state DOT inspections, repairs, and maintenance are being addressed at that same time. All other apparatus will be rotated through DOT inspections and fluid changes if needed or as needed. We will be starting a fire hose testing program this quarter that will be in concurrence with ours at the town of Beloit. We'll be testing all fire hose to the NFPA standards for safety and reliability of all hoses in inventory. The radio and engine 2030 that was sent in for warranty repairs has been returned, is working well, and no issues there yet. Hopefully not to come. And no new updates on the new ambulance. That is all I have for my quarterly report. The backside here is the last page is the stat numbers. For April, it was 71 calls for the month, May 79, and June 83. That looks to be holding steady with past months since we've taken over. Just a little uptick, but I think generally holding in the right direction. And on the final word on calls, we did have a fire, a small fire on Monday the 30th. Small enough fire that we don't normally do any type of press release or anything fancy. Came in as a residential fire, was caught early over at Pearl Lake, and heard some rumors of all kinds of different response times and whatnots from that. So I have the dispatch report right here. And at 12:59 was the first piece of apparatus on scene, which was the ambulance from South Beloit. And within 46 seconds of that was the first engine from Harlan Roscoe at 12:52:45. The then Rockton engine at 53:50, so within a minute of that was the second engine. And within a minute of that was Harlan Roscoe, another Harlan Roscoe engine. So right off the rip, we had South Beloit there. Within 45 seconds, basically, we had the next 3 engines on scene within 2.5 to 3 minutes.
Thank you.
I have that report here if you're interested in it. It's just all the numbers and times for that particular call. Other than that, I have nothing else for my quarterly report right now.
Any questions up here? I'm going to say something, not about that, but because I can. This last 4th of July, I know you guys were probably busy and the police officers and everybody else, but it's getting awful ridiculous where you know, first of all, fireworks to shoot off it's legal to sell. We all know that. Most of them are illegal to sell. But to shoot them off is illegal. And I have yet to understand why it's all allowed, but it still is. And I mean, to me, it doesn't bother me, but it does the animal, it does our veterans, and you know, there's a lot of people that really bothers. But it seems to be a thing that's not going to go away. But to me, if you shoot them up in the air is one thing, but just a bomb to hit them, you know, the loud blasts in the middle of the night is just ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. But I just thought I'd say something because I can. And that's okay. Moving on. All right, we're going to move on to unfinished business. Discuss and approve ordinance 2836, amending chapter 62, offenses and miscellaneous provision, article 3, offenses against public peace and safety, prohibiting the possession, transfer, sale of unregulated food, beverage products infused with cannabis or contain any amount of whatever you call that.
Tetrahydrocannabinol.
Okay, good. THCO. Get a motion?
Motion.
Get a second?
Second.
All right. This, do you want to explain?
Sure, I can go over this. So this is the final ordinance that we talked about at a couple of council meetings now. It would prohibit the sale of these Delta 8 and Delta 9 products at the locations other than our adult use cannabis business establishments that have been licensed by the city and by the state of Illinois. This ordinance was drafted off of a sample that we received from another municipality in Illinois that has also opted to prohibit these types of products, particularly at our convenience stores and I think our smoke shops, where we tend to see these types of products kind of popping up. We have some even that are near the schools that residents have been bringing to our attention that are of concern. So the ordinance does require again, it is a violation for the possession and offering for sale of these products, and there would be either a fine or a revocation or suspension of like a business license, for example, and that would be only after a hearing, and the hearing process is laid out in the ordinance itself.
The main thing about that is there's no regulations. There's no regulating this. They just sell whatever they want and do whatever they want. And when you go to a store, cannabis store or something, they are regulated. And we feel, and I think there's some of us feel that it should be regulated before it's put out for sale like it is. Right, Chief?
Is there like an age limit on these? Like right now, like I know we do like checks for tobacco from time to time. Is there an age limit? Like you have to be 18 to buy these things?
I'm not even sure.
Not even sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't really had anything to do with it.
There's no way to enforce, like check it,
I
right?
don't.
I think for me, we have to enforce. We're sending out, undercover people for 18-year-olds to buy cigarettes, and you have to be ID'd to walk into these places. The cannabis shops. It's willy-nilly. I mean, we're having to double check and follow up to sell cigarettes and ID for liquor and beer and everything else. The same should be said for this THC, Delta 8. It needs to be regulated. If those people have to jump to the boots, so should they.
Mayor, because Commissioner Morse is not here tonight, I can tell you that we did review this with him, and that he does strongly support the way the ordinance is written, where we would prohibit the sale of these items. So he was a strong advocate for that language.
So is this stuff illegal then, or no?
No, it's not illegal. They're currently unregulated in the state of Illinois.
See, there's no regulations whatsoever on it. And if the kids can buy it, walk from school right across to the gas station and buy it. and it does have THC in it, so we have no idea why it's not regulated.
It's
But
legal in the sense like marijuana is illegal, beer is illegal, cigarettes,
And I don't know how much is being sold in the area, but I know it's being sold.
So our goal with this is to get this out here before it becomes a problem, is that kind of our thought?
Yeah. It's been a problem in other cities, and it's, when it comes in, just like right now, they've been selling it in this area for a little while, and you don't know nothing about it. There's no way to regulate it. And like Adam said, Adam's a police officer, and he can't do nothing. It's got THC, and the kid comes in, buys it, and away they go. So if you want to sell it, have some regulations on it, and that's not our job. It's a job of the state to regulate it. All right. Anybody else? Tracy, please.
Commissioner Edelman?
yes.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Abstain.
Commissioner Morris? Commissioner Prentice?
No.
Mayor Fitzgerald?
Yes, well, it's 2-2. Oh, no.
Nope.
2-1. 2-1?
And it doesn't pass.
Doesn't pass. All right, well, I guess it is what it is. Discuss, approve, all right, here we go. Discuss, approve ordinance 2848, amending chapter 18 business by adding article 12 residential rental property regulation. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Okay, you want to discuss this?
We removed the safe housing thing. Does that kind of take care of some of the major concerns of the Realtors Association? I know that has had a lot to say about it. I guess, can she?
Yeah, you can stand up, please.
I apologize, I was going to speak during public comment, but I waited.
Yeah, wait, that's why I wanted.
The opportunity. So first, we would like to thank the city for agreeing to have a moment to sit down with us back in June to discuss the ordinance. Yes, the crime-free housing component was a major concern. We also brought a couple of other points to the table. One of them is that under the ordinance, to be a local agent, you have to be of the age of 21. The Real Estate License Act allows an individual to obtain a real estate license at the age of 18. Also, an individual can own property at the age of 18, so technically under this ordinance, a person with a license from the state of Illinois or owns property at the age of 18 could not be a local agent. And so we had asked if 21 could be amended to the age of 18. The next one that we were looking at is that we had asked that the city would be willing to at least put a reference to the appeals section. So if an individual did fail to follow the residential rental property ordinance, that they would know what section within the city code that they would need to look at to follow a proper appeals. We know it's in your code, we just don't know where it is, and it's just a consumer outreach type of thing that somebody's going through it. On that, also, we still think that the ordinance is still overly broad in that it doesn't focus specifically on nuisance properties. It requires everyone to register. But to the fact, we are very thankful to the city coming to the table, and so on that, I don't have any further comments at this time. But thank you for moving the crime-free component.
It doesn't address nuisance property. It does, doesn't it? That's the reason that we put this up there, is because of nuisance landlord, not the property. The property doesn't have nothing to do with it. It's who owns the property.
Right, but not every property is a nuisance, and the ordinance requires, just because it is a rental property, to register. So if by the interpretation that we're receiving, it seems as though every property, just because it's a rental property, is considered a nuisance, and that's why we're saying that it's very large and sweeping. So if there was some set of standards where if there were some type of code violation that then triggered the property to register, it would focus more on nuisance abatement rather than just on targeting rental properties. So that's the position that we come from, Mayor.
Well, this here, all this does is ask for landlords to register. That's all it does. In the whole thing, right? That's all this thing does is register landlords so that the rental properties are known, and when we do have a problem, code violation, something with the property, we can pick up, look in the book and find out who is the landlord or the person in charge of that property and contact them. The reason we even started this was because of months and years of sitting down here and having the same properties and the same landlords more just put us off and taking up everybody's time instead of doing what they're supposed to do. So what they did is they and then end up owing $74,000 or like that one or $25,000, and then coming to us and saying, hey, we can't pay this, whatever you want, and have us reduce the rate when the good landlords are taking care of their property. And I don't see where a good landlord would have problems registering their rental property. Why would they have problem? Hey, this is my rental property sitting right over here. If you want to contact me, because they're good landlords. The only ones that we have problems with are the bad landlords. And that's the reason I brought this up to begin with. And our time is valuable as much as anybody else's, and it costs money when we spend a lot of time on it. And Shauna and them, her and code enforcement have spent many hours on it, and we're looking for a way to stop that. Do you have any suggestions on how to stop that?
Yes, as we sat down at the table and discussed the city, we brought forward Woodstock's property maintenance program, which has the trigger of if there are multiple code violations, then they are required to register. The reason why a property owner doesn't want to have to register their properties is because it can be burdensome in order to do so. You're not just asking them in this ordinance to register the property, you're also asking them to turn over their leases upon being requested. You're also gathering tenant information and their ages. And so it's not just a registration of the property, you're also gathering additional information within there. And if an individual owns multiple properties, that can become very burdensome, especially because this is a paper application. And so when we were at the table discussing with the city, we had shown that a paper application is usually not the most efficient way to run one of these programs, because it becomes then burdensome for staff, because then they have to manually enter that information into their system so that then they can quickly reference it and categorize it. Otherwise, they're searching through documents upon documents. And so that's the reason why we brought forward the property maintenance program that came from the city of Woodstock, because it actually focuses on problem property owners rather than providing that large blanket approach of just because you have a rental property, you have to complete this.
Well, the reason that they want leases and notified is because it's just like on Gardner Street here, where they got a couple of houses side by side out here that put out 8, 9 garbage cans, because inside there's 9 families or 9 different people in that place there that are, I'm not saying families, might be individuals for all I know, but nobody has any idea who they're, and it's a rental property, and it's a problem property. And that's some of the reasons that they wanted to know who leases it, and or how many people are leasing it. They don't want to know they don't want to know the people who's leasing it. How many people? How many rental properties you have in that one property? Do you have 4, 3, 2, 1? That's so that it affects us too. And that's the reason that was all put forward like that.
Right, and as we discussed, an individual that is a problem property is not always going to be honest on that application. And so that's where we're saying that the landlords those property owners that do rent their units are going to be the ones that will complete these applications. And because problem properties will continue to be a problem within the city of Freeport, because there are bad landlords that do exist, we don't live in a utopian society, I'm not saying that they don't, it's going to increase code enforcement. And then there becomes more fines and fees that become along with these applications that we've seen for cities to be able to improve management, improve code enforcement, going after problem properties. And so we recognize where the city is coming from on the issue, and we appreciate it being brought to the table. So we understand where you are at, Mayor, and we appreciate this opportunity today to provide to the commissioners a summary of the conversation that we had at the table. So thank you.
I think this issue here might be big enough to lay over for Kenny. So do you want to
I agree.
get everybody here, get everybody's viewpoint on it?
I guess it depends on how you think it's going to.
We can take a straw poll here if you want.
I mean, I've talked till I'm blue in the face on this, that, you know, I also don't agree with this. I think we're overreaching. So, I mean, I told this council my reasons before. I sat in on that meeting as well. So I don't really have a lot to add to it.
Have you, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but have you looked at the Woodstock thing at all?
It was brought to the meeting, but I haven't looked at it since there.
I have, Ryan. I've looked at it with staff.
Okay, I'm looking at it now for the first time. If it's complaint driven, right?
Correct.
And it's performance based on the landlord, I feel like that kind of tackles what we're trying to do. I mean, I know that what we're voting on right now isn't that, but I mean, to me, that makes a ton of sense. It's taking care of the problem people, and it's allowing us to go after them instead of going after the good landlords. We don't want to penalize the good ones. We don't want to be a bigger pain in the ass to those people. You know, I want to go after the people who have a problem mowing their yard, keeping chip paint, painting their buildings, making it look nice. The problem people are the ones we want to go after. The complaint-driven people are the ones, not the good ones. I think we need to lay it over and look at Woodstock's. I don't know. I mean, in my mind, I would say look at that as kind of the starting point before anything else. Truthfully,
Brian, what do you think?
Make a motion to lay over.
All right.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, we're laying that over.
Can somebody get us the Woodstock?
Yeah, well, with that, you don't have to make a motion, you can just tell them, bring it up. Bring up that. Bring that up.
I mean, a simple Google search, truthfully, makes a ton of sense.
It was sent out to
Yeah.
everyone on council.
Mayor, I can add, just so you guys can all think on this too. Currently, it would be a paper document, but we are in the process of transitioning all of our applications and licenses to digital through Tyler Technologies. So if and when there's reason to have that work done, the application would be put through that process. It's just that we couldn't wait as this item got laid over and laid over and laid over. We're in the middle of an 18-month transition. We had to stick to our timeline. But this document, if it becomes a reality, would become a digital document eventually also, that people could get a reminder that says, hey, your 1-year business license is up, your 1-year rental registry application is up. Fill this out, is it all the same? Do you have any changes to make? So it is very user friendly if it ends up becoming official.
Does that address transfer of property too?
I'm not sure. My guess is probably not. I think the owner is still going to have to do that piece. The Tyler Technology is able to take a document that we've created and make it a digital format, but it's not like they have a rental registry module.
So it could be like the properties up on Wheeler Avenue where they transfer the ownerships 3 or 4 times and nobody even knows about it. You know, I mean, it just continues. That's all right.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just saying
all
that.
on the owners of
Yeah,
the
okay.
property
All right.
to provide the information.
All right, well, it's laid over. Okay, moving on. Discuss approve ordinance 2852, amending chapter 10 animals at article 2, dogs and cats. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right, now all this is, well, this has to do with just taking the law that's in place and omitting cats on a leash. That's it. That's all it has to do. But by doing this, it allows us to bring in people from another town, Rockford, that and then they can trap and neuter them and put them back where they found them, rather than trap them and kill them right away. I mean, that's pretty much what this stands for. Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
I'm Sarah McLean, and I'm the owner and founder of South Beloit TNR, which means that we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we have been doing the TNR in South Beloit. So if we're bringing in people from Rockford, where does our organization stand then?
No, I'm just saying that if you wanted to, or him, or me, or anybody wanted to, they could talk to the people in Rockford and have them come in and do that too. You know, I mean, you could continue on whatever you're doing. That's all this does is the Rockford will not trap an animal and release them after they trap them if they're on a leash law.
Because of the leash law, correct.
So if you just eliminate the leash law, then all they're going to do is just they'll be able to trap them, come in, trap them yourself or anybody else. Come in and they trap them and then put them on, bring them back to where they got them and release them. And that's all this is. That's all this is amounts to. I mean, and there'd be a way to cut down on the cats because once you neuter them and spade them, they won't be producing. Otherwise, if it comes on, because last year I think it said they come up and they trapped 2 animals.
Correct, but again, I can prove that we actually took more than 2 animals.
Yeah, you guys did. I mean, you did, and I know Wendy goes where they did, and that. But this has nothing to do with that. This is just, all this does is take the existing law and remove cats on a leash. So that's it. And if you have a problem with cats, you can still call Winnebago County.
Right, okay. I was just curious on how that was all working. Okay.
But,
Winnebago County won't come if it's all.
No,
Yeah.
it won't. I had multiple calls recently that I have gone on because Winnebago County did not come out. And so I have just recently tracked the mom and the kittens, and now I have them, and I have moms released soon.
well, I know they came out. They came out this year. They came out in my block because I was talking to people that came out and trapped them.
This is literally, I have the mom right now with the kittens in my home. She's about to get released. She got spayed like 2 or 3 days ago, and the kittens, because Winnebago told her to put the kittens back with the mom, but the kittens are like 8 to 10 weeks old, so if they keep growing, they're going to grow to produce, but now they can go for adoption.
Right, but this law has nothing to do with that. This
No,
is
I get that. Somebody just mentioned that.
Yeah,
Winnebago
all
won't
this
come
law
out.
has to do is it allows Rockford, I don't even know the name of the outfit down there in Rockford. We one time had a contract with them that come down here and they trap the animals and then, Cares for Pets. And that's all it does. It just allows them to come in town. But Cares for Pets won't come into town and trap any animal with this leash law. That's what, she stood up here and said that. That's why we brought this up just to eliminate the leash law is all.
I don't understand why Rockland County isn't doing the job that when they're being called, regardless of a leash law. I don't understand what a cat on a leash has to do with a wild cat that's a problem. I don't understand why one can't exist with the other. It doesn't make sense to me that, I don't know that my entire 44 years of life that I've ever seen a cat on a leash.
No, I haven't either.
2, I don't know why Sarah can't keep doing what she's doing, which is great work of making sure cats don't overtake neighborhoods. I think we can all agree we don't want cats everywhere. I think we can also agree that cats shouldn't just be slaughtered because they're wild cats. I think we can all agree there. I just don't get why one has to go away for the other to exist. It doesn't add up.
It doesn't have to go away. That's why they said Cares for Pets or whatever. That's why she says if you take out that cats on a leash, just that statement, then they can come in town. They can come in town and they can take care of this, you know, like if you say, hey, somebody calls them up, we got cats out here, can you come in? They'll come in and neuter them and spay them, and that way they won't multiply. Otherwise, they're going to continue to multiply. I mean, Sarah's doing a great job, and so is Wendy Goldsworthy, but they can't continue.
I do also, I mean, since we're talking about the cat issue, feral cats are completely different than a domestic cat. Most people aren't out poisoning raccoons or squirrels because they exist. It's the same thing with feral cats. And we also have other issues that we ran into is possibly that people are poisoning some of these feral cats. I've seen it with my own eyes. There's a lot that I personally am seeing in our community, but I have nobody that within the city that I can talk with about what is really going on. So there's a lot that's going on that we are doing, but if the city wants to get involved with, you know, we kind of have to have some kind of a working relationship with that because there's more going on in our city than most people really realize.
Right, this was just step one. That's all this was step one.
I just wanted to bring up that there's a lot more going on.
I know, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I mean, I got trouble with squirrels and everything else, and
Right, I'm just
people
saying
feed
that
them, but
is
I-
like a raccoon or a squirrel, and we're not out killing.
I know
them.
it. That's all I'm trying to say is this was just brought up by the lady that from Cares for Pets, and she says we will work with the city to spay and neuter cats, but you can't have that in your law because we cannot come in and do it. That's all it was. And I said,
Oh,
okay.
no, that's great, yeah.
I bring it up to the council and see if they just strike that sentence off of the thing, and if they do that, we could move forward with move forward with it. Otherwise, you can't move forward with it. Otherwise, we're right back to where we are. And it doesn't, we're not getting nothing done.
Well, part of the problem is when people feed these stray
Yeah.
cats.
Well, somebody's
And
feeding.
I have it by me. I remember Kenny had it by him.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. When I had a dog, I didn't let my dog run around.
No.
Them cats go to the bathroom in people's yards.
No.
You know, my dog did. So, you know, that's part of the problem. When people were doing that.
I can tell you too, like Kenny pulled me aside after one of the meetings and said like his egress windows are being used as litter boxes by, you know, neighbors who is overfeeding cats or whatever. Is this leash law eliminating, I just don't, I still can't come to terms with what the hell the leash has to do with anything.
Well,
I don't think those services can trap cats if there's a leash law in place.
One
Also,
particular, right now, we have one particular person doing it. If we get rid of the leash law, then the second people
Two
could
people.
potentially do it.
we have three.
And they won't do it because it's the county. County can't afford to send people up here. We could talk to our county reps. County reps will shove this off because, let's be honest, they don't care. So Sarah keeps doing what she's doing. We leave the leash law as it is, and Sarah keeps going about her business of
But
Make sure
I'm not
cats
doing
can't-
anything that's against the law according to the Animal Welfare Act because.
Yeah,
I
see, they
don't think
can't.
anybody's saying you are.
Yeah, no,
doing
but
this.
because we do have a leash law, I'm still not doing anything that would be illegal or against the law by doing what I'm doing with TNR because it is actually, it elements states in the Animal Control Act that, there's laws for people that are doing TNR.
Well, that's why we brought this up. Just a simple, take one line out and let the people try to handle it. Let the professionals try to handle it and yourself, you know, I mean, between the bunch. Otherwise, like you say, Winnebago County isn't coming up. So we're gonna do nothing, just nothing. If we eliminate that one sentence and let's see if Cares for Pet will come up and make, you know, try the contract. Otherwise, it ain't gonna change. Nothing's changing.
Find
Mayor.
the people that's feeding these stray cats.
We gotta find people that feed squirrels, birds. Birds shit on my car today. What am I supposed to do? Shoot them? You know, I mean,
That
No, I'm just saying, well, how different is it?
They're a domestic cat. They're a domestic animal. The squirrel's a wild animal.
I know too that this has been laid over and laid over, but I know that Commissioner Morris also has strong opinions about this matter, so I don't know if you guys are, just want to let you know, Mayor.
I do know Kenny has a lot to say about this. I do think it would be the right thing to do to lay this over for Kenny to be heard.
I was talking, but I won't say what he told me.
It's been laid over, you
I
know.
mean, I did offer to go to their block and help them with the TNR, and even when we do trap cats, they are not feral. We scan them, ship them if we try to find the owners, and if, like I said, they're adoptable, they go up for adoption, they are not being put back outside. We are only releasing back true feral cats that are wild like a raccoon, not the friendlies or any of that. So, I have offered to help them. I was told what I was told, so.
All right, so you made a motion? You?
Yeah,
Make that motion?
I will make a motion to lay it over till our next meeting when Kenny will be available.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion, lay it over. All right, new business, discuss approved car show event, Knights of Columbus at Didier Hall at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on September 6, 2025. Motion.
Second.
Well, you want to stand up, please?
Thanks for making it.
Yes. This will be our 6th annual car show. Last year was went really well. It was our biggest one to date.
Can you say your name? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, I'm
you.
sorry, Steve Talixon. I'm with the Knights of Columbus here in town at St. Peter's. Again, we, as of right now, we're not going to have a food truck, anything like that. We always, in the past, we've just ushered people towards Captain's Galley. Just, they're one of our sponsors. We usher them that way for lunch. So we're hopefully going to have about the same, at least the same amount of cars this year. We're looking for more sponsors. We always look for more sponsors. We did have to move the date this year due to a scheduling conflict at the hall. So we're hoping, this will be the first weekend after Labor Day. So hopefully people will still have their cars out and about. So.
I know you guys had it, we voted on this quite a few times, and it's a great thing to bring to South Beloit when you're, I don't know if I don't have any problem with it. Anybody got anything to say?
I don't know. It's been kind of a hellraiser.
And all proceeds go to Vets Roll.
Oh, that's good.
So we'll give them the proceeds.
So good. Tracy?
All in favor?
Aye. Anybody opposed? There you go. All right, have a happy car show. All right, discuss approved request for another car show at Gearheads Global at Dairy Ripple on Friday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on April through October. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, I know one thing we want to say about this is we have to have, like we know you're running that show, is we have to have contact. So, if our officers have a problem with anybody, they can contact you. That other way, now go ahead, sorry.
Just car show for, to get some of the youth involved, give them a good, what Richard paid. Show good examples of just parking their cars, come see it, ice cream. It's, otherwise it's a pretty good time.
Well, we have good time. It's just that I wanted to make sure, like, if we have event coordinators should give their information so that the officers know it, So if they do have I've been to car shows in Beloit, I don't know, and, but they can call you and tell you to straighten these guys out or, whatever. And that's all. We have no problem with that. And we're thankful for coming to South Beloit too. And it's a good deal.
I feel like Alicia Peterson is here. She owns the Dairy Ripple.
great that it's gotten that big.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're all pretty good with that. Tracy?
All in favor?
Aye. Anybody opposed? 2 car shows just like that. Thank you. And the dairy room. Discuss approve 5K walk and run event on Keep Northern Illinois Beautiful on September 20th, 2025, South Point City Park. Motion?
Motion.
Second? Okay, who's going to talk about this? I know nothing about it.
So we have, for about the last year, had a really good relationship with Keep Northern Illinois Beautiful. They're actually the partner that worked with our fire department to do the prescription drug drop-off event. And just over time, there's always been things that we have partnered with either the police department or the fire department or the electronic drop-off, and now we have a recycle center in South Point. So they have been a good partner. This will be a fundraiser for them, so I've included the flyer. It also has an active webpage if people are still looking to sign up, but this would require a little bit of assistance. They are going to be crossing Door Road at the crosswalk, so they will probably ask for a little extra traffic control, though they will have all kinds of volunteers. But it's just, especially because it's going to be leaving the park, and runners will go all the way on the bike path to South Beloit High School, turn around in the South Beloit High School parking lot, and then come all the way back to City Park. I do think because they're crossing Door Road, we just want to call out special attention to this and make sure that our police department is capable of having enough people on hand to give them a little bit of extra caution. But other than that, pretty typical event, and it'll be done before too many people really care at City Park. It'll be done by about 11 a.m. So I think that's helpful. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Another fun thing that highlights the city.
That's right.
I expect all you guys are going to sign up, right?
I was going to say
It's a
Tom.
volunteer. Roxanne wants to run it.
Bad hip. All right, Tracy.
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And we got that done. All right, we're moving on. Discuss approve request for aquatic education lessons in Illinois Education event to be held at City Park, July 21st, 2025. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Okay.
Shauna?
Shauna.
So I was contacted by Frank Sladek of the Illinois Urban Fishing Program and the IDNR. They asked to have educational type of events in the city park. Since they monitor the fish down there, they asked if we would be open to having them down there. July 21st is open from 9 until 3. They bring all of the bait, all of the fishing poles, literature, all of that kind of things. They have extra volunteers that come down, and they teach the kids with a parent how to fish, how to cast, and do different things. So we asked them to hold a spot for us, and then they'll also come back and ask to do more things in the fall when they have a better handle on what's going to take place on July 21st. If that's
They need to shut the park, or the, no, they just run everything. That's good.
Yeah, they don't need anything from staff, or anything. They just asked if they could come down.
Oh, excellent. Another good.
So, yeah.
We're getting a lot of things going on around here.
I think the more we work with them, the more they can help start stocking that lake too.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That's what I was thinking.
I haven't taken many fish out there, I can tell you that. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we take care of that. Okay, moving on. Discuss approve ordinance 2853, correcting ordinance number of Scrivener's error. 20. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
What mistake did we make?
What Tracy screw up.
Scrivener's error.
Yeah. Oh.
Double the ordinance.
Why didn't you just put Tracy's here?
I'm a human.
We're all
She's made like 3 of those in her career.
Is that right? That many?
Many.
I'll make that in one day. All right, go ahead. All in favor? Oh, what were we changing from what to what?
Commissioner Henderson?
Yes.
It's changing to
The
That
20,
would be the ordinance number that was doubled on.
the 2854.
Instead of 2849, it's changing to 2854.
Yep.
Okay, that wasn't on here. All right, okay.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Morris? Commissioner Prentice?
Yes.
Commissioner Edelman?
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald?
Yes, discuss approve ordinance 2855, amending section 37, part-time police officers of the Article 2 Police Department, Chapter 50, Law Enforcement Code of Ordinance of the City of South Beloit to be amended and requirement of a U.S. citizen. Motion.
So,
Second.
Okay, Chief, you got this? Roxanne?
Either way, you want to take it?
The law changed where we used to advertise you must be a U.S. citizen to be in law enforcement, but the law changed. Now you don't have to be a U.S. citizen. There's other ways you can be a police officer if you're not a U.S. citizen. I don't really, it's kind of confusing and complicated. We're kind of working through that now, but this just follows what federal law, I assume?
State law.
State law, okay.
Yeah, this is Illinois
So
specific.
we're not doing anything different. We're just,
We are following state of Illinois law.
that's right.
Yeah, the Illinois law changed. You no longer have to be a U.S. citizen. You just have to be legally authorized to work in the United States under federal law. Or you have DACA status, which is deferred
Visa?
action for DACA status is deferred action for childhood arrivals, which gives individuals pathways to citizenship that may have come here as minors, undocumented.
All right. Okay.
Is
Did
the
we get-
state of Illinois in line with
Yeah.
every other state? Or
Yeah.
are we,
I can't answer that.
That's why I don't understand why
I'm going to
it's
guess
coming
no.
here. That's why I asked.
I'm going to guess no,
I'm gonna guess no too.
but I cannot answer that. They are probably in line with New York and California.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Understood.
enough said.
But this is the law in Illinois. And our
And if we don't
ordinances,
do this,
our
what
ordinances
happens?
have to match the law in Illinois.
So we have to.
We cannot deny employment to someone on the basis of them not being a U.S. citizen, because the law in Illinois does not require U.S. citizenship
All right.
anymore.
So we have to follow the state of Illinois. So we have to say yes to this.
Or we risk being sued.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yes, you risk being sued if you deny someone the ability to serve in your police department under
Okay.
these terms. And so we really do need to continue to ensure that our ordinance language matches with state statute. I would also note that this is only as it relates to part-time officers, because the part-time officer ordinance came onto the books just a few years ago, and so it was written very specifically to outline the requirements that we would have in our application. Our other ordinance that talks about full-time police officer positions, it's very general, and it doesn't include any citizenship requirement or anything like that. So that's why when we were going through and we were cleaning up language in the code, we learned that we only needed to change this section of the code to match this new, again, it was January 1st, 2024, that the state of Illinois changed the law. So just over a year ago. We just need to change the part-time section, because we don't have that requirement in the full-time section, because there's no requirement at all in there.
Okay.
Let's give them a right to vote. All right, did I give a motion?
Yeah.
Okay. Tracy?
Commissioner Prentice?
Yes.
Commissioner Edelman?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington? Commissioner Morris? Mayor Fitzgerald?
Yes, discuss approve ordinance 2856, amending Appendix A, 2022, City of South Beloit, the ordinance of fines. Motion, please.
Second.
This, Mayor, this is just a cleanup ordinance. So again, we're just amending it to 2025, and there were a couple of citations that Laura caught that were inverted. I know Victoria worked on this chart for South Beloit several years ago, back in 2022. So all this is just cleaning up, fixing spelling errors, things of that nature.
Tracy's fault again?
No.
Oh, okay.
This would have
Just
been my
checking.
office's fault.
He's just kidding with it.
This is just
All right.
cleaning up some errors, that's all.
Okay, go ahead, Tracy.
Commissioner Edelman?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington? Commissioner Morris? Commissioner Prentice?
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald?
Yes, discuss approve resolution 6627, approving hotel motel grant application for the South Beloit Historical Society for amount of $8,500. Motion.
Motion. Second.
Okay, we got, somebody wants to talk about this, John, or what?
Well, I guess I just want to make it clear that we don't have one event. You know, the whole purpose of that museum and home is to have people come there all the time. We've already had a group that was here earlier this year, small group, but anytime somebody comes, even if it's a family gathering, you know, we're there, we're available. So when we say we're going to have an event, we're going to have an open house this coming Sunday. We're going to have Heritage Days in September. We have a holiday. But in between, we have a lot of other groups coming there. So I haven't given you a list of exactly what the charges are. We know what our budget is, and we know that about half of it is preparing for all of this friends and tourists to come in and see the place. And a lot of them aren't from out of town, so it's the accumulation of all the preparation and the money it takes to get that house ready, excluding our normal
That's $850.
So that's what we're asking for, and you guys have always been great, and we just want to make it it just makes our town a better place, and we want to keep that up.
The mayor has referenced what I think was misunderstood as a potential error in the resolution. It's actually not an error in the resolution. The process itself for the Hotel Motel Committee is that the committee is limited in the amount that they can recommend. And so when the committee meets, the committee will make a recommendation based on its ability in the committee process. But in speaking with members of council, I'm assuming staff must have been of the opinion that council would perhaps approve the full request. And so the resolution was prepared to match the full request, but understand the committee can only recommend the amount that is outlined in the resolution. I know it gets confusing, but again, those levels were put into your committee process based off of samples that we saw in other communities. So the general rule of thumb would be that the council approved what the committee recommended, but there are going to be instances in which the council is going to find that requests really do merit the full funding that has been asked for, and so then it's up to the council to decide whether or not to grant that full amount. So the difference in the amounts in the resolution are simply because of that. Again, I know it gets confusing, but that's why.
Yeah, we looked through the paperwork and all your stuff was good. Anybody else want to say something?
I just want to make sure, as I always ask on these applications, the application was fully completed without any errors, everything was good? Okay, perfect.
All right, Tracy.
Commissioner Heatherington?
Yes.
Commissioner Morris? Commissioner Prentice?
Yes.
Commissioner Edelman?
Yes.
Mayor Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll do our part to keep it a nice place, and that makes our city a better place.
I know you will.
So we want to keep it going that way without being too much of a burden on you guys.
No, you're not a burden on us, John, and we thank you guys for working up there.
We're up there working tonight. So
I know it.
Thank you so much.
All right, see you, John, thanks. Discuss approve resolution 6628, reappointing members to the library board. Get a motion?
Motion.
Second? Okay, we're reappointing the whole board, right?
No, 3 members.
Three members of the board? Okay, any questions?
I
What?
can say the names. Margie, Bartholomew, Stephanie Cole, Paula
Paula
Richardson.
Richardson?
Each a 3-year
Okay,
Commissioner Prentice?
Yes.
Commissioner Edelman?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington? Commissioner Morris?
yes. Okay, discuss approve 6629, appointing member to the Parks and Recreation Board. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
And that would be Maggie Packett. Any questions? Okay. Tracy?
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington? Yes. Commissioner Morris? Commissioner Prentice?
Yes.
Mayor Fisher?
Yes, discuss approve resolution 6630, appointing members to the Hotel Motel Tax Fund Review Board. That would be Tracy Patrick and Melody Cruz. Motion.
Motion. South Beloit class of 1999. Here we go.
All right. Any questions? Okay, motion. Tracy.
Yes.
Yes, anything else to go? Otherwise, get a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Nobody want a second it? All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming. That, it's,